Yeah. Silence, just silence. This was I experienced when someone take this photo after running from my home in Germany to the Italian Sea, about 350 kilometers. Kusuzangbola, Tachitelak, hello. So I'm very happy to be here, and first I want to say thank you to the excellent organization of this conference, and that I have the possibility to speak here about spiritual running from an ancient and a modern science perspective. When I talk to my running friends about spiritual running, normally they ask, what running? The last day, when I speak to someone of this on the topic, they ask, what? Spiritual what? So I take mostly running pictures in my slides that you always be clear what's about a talk. I want to tell you about the story of my way to the spiritual running. So around 13 years ago, I had an idea to run 100 kilometers. Don't ask me why. But I realized very fast, okay, I can do this, but then I will be completely destroyed. So I changed my idea to I want to run 100 kilometers on a healthy way. And this was the beginning of a longer journey. First, I learned a lot about running techniques and training, and then after the first injury, I want to know more about my body and make some education in physiotherapy. From here I moved to energy healing methods, learn about sound healing, how frequencies have an impact on the body and the mind. I studied a lot about energy, from waves to quantum concept. I'm interested in nutrition and food concepts also. And then for mental training, I found my way to the idea of spiritual running. I visit the so-called marathon monks near Kyoto in Japan. They do the karaoke. It's a Zen Buddhism fast walking practice. They walk every night around a mountain over 7 years. And then I heard about the Lungkompa, the mystic Tibetan trance runners. I think some of you know this. It's a very secret technique. I learned fast because I don't find any information about it, very difficult to find. And so I searched for this since a long time. And this was also my entrance to the Vajrayana Buddhism. And there I found much more than a running technique, but also a concept of running. It's called Gang Chok, and it was taught me by my Buddhism master, Tulpa Lobsang Rinpoche. You see it in the before. He's also a Tumor teacher. And Gang Chok, which integrates mind, breath, and body to deliver powerful results. The practice begins with preparation, focusing on 3 areas, impacting energy, so food, breath, and the mental power. During the Gang Chok practice, energy is generated by breath holding at the navel chakra while running, and the energy flows through our bodies. We heard already about the 72,000 channels, clearing blockages and creating internal warmth. And this warmth stimulates the happiness hormones like serotonin, dopamine, and so on, calming the mind and make it easier to generate further power. So, but the most important thing I learned on this way was to change my goal. It was not longer necessary. That was my wish before, to become a better runner. For means skills to run long, to run fast, and maybe win races. After studying the technique and connected to the Buddhism teachings, so I learned so much more. It's not the most important thing to run fast or long, because it's more to find more about myself and something it's called the inner peace. And this knowledge changed my life, and not only in sport. After I had some experience, I will tell it now in a nutshell what then happened. I visited a retreat of my Buddhism master, Tulpa Lobsang Rinpoche, and he said the mind is limited and emotions are limited, but inner peace is unlimited. And in my very naive thinking, I say, okay, then I have to run with inner peace, whatever this is and however it works. So after 3 days of meditation and discussion, I had still no idea, but I had a feeling maybe I can find it. And 2 weeks later, I did this run from Germany to the Italian Sea. It was 356 kilometers, around 5,000 meter elevation. And when I arrived at the beach, the picture before, I put off my shoes and walked to the sea and standing there, looking to the horizon. There was no bliss or no happiness. It was just silence, just this inner peace. Not only for this moment, also 3 months later, and also today, I can feel it. I know it. I have meanwhile, some little techniques to get there, and this was the big benefit. And since I have this experience, I try not to understand what happens there, because I think that's not possible for me, but I try to find out some more knowledge, how this works, what happened, and how it's connected. And in my sport, I measure a lot, because I'm a biohacker also, so I have a lot of gadgets. I measured my heart rate variability, oxygen saturation, especially in the high altitude, and also my brain waves while meditating, and also while running. And this is what I will share with you. So in other studies, they always talk about runners come from a beta frequency, who's more concentrated, to an alpha, who in more in a relaxed mode. So this is what you see on the first picture on the left side. And then I measure me, and I find, oops, what's happened here? I jump at one point in the delta frequency. And so I begin to measure some friends and some other runners, short distance runner who do no meditation, short distance runner who meditate, then ultra runner, long distance runner who meditate and who don't meditate. And what I see was, like you see here, the blue one is the alpha frequency. It's coming up a little bit more. The red one is here, the beta. And in the long distance running, in the beginning, the alpha is there, and at one point, the green line, the delta frequency comes up very high. And I have some more. In this slide, you see I measured while running. The green one is the pace, so how fast I run. The red one is the heart rate. And in the first part, in more easy running, you see here's the colors changed. The red one is the delta. It's always higher, but the alpha, you see it's very close to them, and the beta also. And then I do something like a breathing technique, and my delta comes up. And in this interval running, in the very high, where you see these peaks of the pace, there you see the red one line has more distance to the other. And this is what happens in fast running, I've found out. And if you're very long runs, at one point it's also there. So, but now what is the benefit of this delta frequency? So delta frequency is like you measure normally at sleep or in a healing process, for example. And while running long distance, after 10 hours, for example, you have pain. There's no chance normally. But when you're on a delta frequency, you can control this pain very good. The thyroid can handle good with it, or you don't feel so much. Similar to the sleep, you have pain, and if you fall asleep, you don't feel the pain. I don't know if it's the same, but this was the effect what I feel. And there's a lot of energy there. But the most interesting effect for me is now to have to get a chance in this mood of this very deep silence, in this inner peace. And one thesis, it's also from some techniques like the tumor or Zalung, because of the effort and this movement, and because of the breath work, holding the breath on the navel, the channel gets free, the blocks in the body dissolved, and everything, the blood, the oxygen, everything can flow very good in the body. And so we become very light and have the body function are good supplied, and so you have the chance to come in this mood. And this worked best and very well if you do some exercise before and for the running. So normally before I start to run, there are some body exercise, some meditation, some breath work, and then it worked very well. And while you're running, you start with a lot of effort, and you suffer very well, especially in long runs and in fast run. And at one point, you overcome the suffering, and then it feels very light, and you come up in this feel of inner peace more and more. But it was especially connected to the delta frequencies. So when you run and then you come up, and it, like we've seen in the curve, it comes up, and it stays on a point in a higher level. And when you stop running, it's a while before it comes down. And if you directly after running meditate, in the first, my teacher said to me, now meditate. I say, well, just running, I'm completely nervous. But it was it's a very, very deep meditation you get there. Because you are I think it's about because you are still in this mood. So this is a very interesting impact. And you can also do this, you have not to run 100 kilometers or more. If you do the exercise before, and then you can run shorter or walk also fast. This gang jog tech practice is walking or running. Then you have also the experience of this very deep meditation. So what to do? Just go out and run. Note there are some aspects of the running techniques, for example. You run in it's called a natural running way, so you're landing on your midfoot. You have a strong core, you have a straight spine, the head is up, the eyes are up, and using mudras, the Vajrayana fist, or you use this is for a lighting run. It's a good energy, can flow very good, and you also have the variation in pace. In the modern science sport, they say every kilometer have to be the same pace, but more natural running is like in the nature, up, down, slow, and this is in this technique especially. Then you have the breath work, knowing from Tumo, Tsalung, race pressing, 9-point pressing, and while running, you try to do much long as possible to pressing only to the nose, so you have new power. If you go up, you can open your mouth and press with the mouth. And the nutrition is also important. It's connected to the Tibetan medicine. So always keep the balance, cook the water in this thing, fill your stomach up with water, with food and oxygen in a balance. And for example, and this was maybe one reason I like the Tibetan medicine so much, if you run in the morning, for example, between 6 and 7, there is the lung time, and then you are moving, it's much of lung, and then the concentration is lung. So there is doing much. The modern sports science would say, oh, you need carbs and proteins after sport, but my body screamed for cake. And so I did the cake, and with the Tibetan medicine, I know that bring me the balance, more bacon, and the lung comes down. So this is, I like it very much. Yes, and then you have to some workouts from the jumps you see before, and this kind, or you do it in a modern way, like you can have the same muscles in the gym or something. And the most important thing is is the meditation and the visualization also. So in sports, there is maybe someone noticed the Bannister Mile. It's Mr. Bannister from Great Britain wants to run the first mile under 4 minutes. No one have it done before, and he do a special training. So he train normal sport, and every evening when he lie in bed, he closed his eye and he visualized when he ran over the finish line at 3 minutes 59 seconds. And after 1 year, he do the run and he finished after 3 minutes 59 seconds. And then in the next months, over 10 people run under 4 minutes because they know, oh, it's possible. And before they know it's not possible. So this is a visualization in the running world, much famous. So all this brings you after some time of practice. This is necessary to very free, to have spiritual running, which gives you the possibility to have a deep meditation or to find the inner peace. And yeah, so I hope I can explain the ideas of this running to you so that you understand, and if there are things you don't share, so please compassion to me, and thank you very much.